Life in so many ways could be summarized as a big onion. Why would I say that? As we gather knowledge, as we gather experience, everything's just getting layered and layered and layered together. It's super fascinating the older you get, and as you start reflecting and having journals to go back to see where you've been or what you thought, to then come to today and see, wow, I view it so differently. It just gives you this perspective of, wow, we're constantly literally layering and layering and layering. For someone who studies a particular subject, what usually happens in the schooling process is you get the introduction and then it just gets more and more in depth to the point you can know the whole entire anatomy of someone's body really well, and then you could go study the point of the whole entire nervous system. Then you could even start connecting more and more and more, and before you know it, anyone who's really passionate would eventually know almost everything there is probably to the human body, to the point they could then take that knowledge and understand animal body parts really easily as well. When it comes to knowledge, though, I think a lot of us, what we neglect is we get interested or passionate towards something, we study it, and then, well, we're satisfied, and then we let it be. I have discovered with my own individual life, this happens a lot. I get really passionate about a subject, I study it really deeply, and then I kind of fade away for a while, and then boom, one day I'm discovered, I should think about this again. And the fascinating thing with your mind is your subconscious and just how life is. You think of it once, you understand it once, but the second time you go around, it just continuously goes deeper. I have never ran across one subject that has not opened my mind in a deeper way the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time I've thought of it. That's just the power of us, the power of the mind. I would say so many of us live in this small arena of what we would call life by thinking we know something and never again discovering it again for the first time. I think it takes a special type of mindset to look at something as though it's the very first time. And you can do that with still having all this knowledge in your head, but you have to look for the potential new connections. I believe as I continue studying, as we continue studying, we will just continuously unlock parts of our mind or parts of reality itself. It is mind-boggling the connections you can start connecting from A to Z, and Z is really far from A, but as we continuously connect knowledge and knowledge and knowledge, they just all start to mingle to the point you have people say everything's connected. That becomes a truer statement each year I live, each year I study, each year I'm always trying to puzzle and connect. And I don't know, I just want to make a video about it because it dawned on me the other day, like, wow, certain topics I used to think I knew a lot of, I now just know a lot more, or the perspective and depth of meaning behind it is so enlarged. I would challenge us all to have this mindset of continuous growth. If we don't, what I've discovered at times also, and this is kind of sad, but we'll call it the cobweb effect. You come across a subject you used to know a lot about, and then your mind's like just struggling to process, what does this mean? Once it processes it once or twice, boom, you're back to your golden self, and then you continuously grow. And I think the part that's really, we'll say fascinating and interesting is the concept of how you can learn one topic that's completely different to another topic, but as time progresses and goes on, that other topic connects to the other topic. So then, for example, you didn't study a subject for 10 years, but you studied another subject for, those 10 years. You can come back to the subject you didn't study for 10 years and have so much more connectional abilities, if you will, based off having that other perspective from that totally different concept or subject. And I think that's what life's all about. It's all about mingling all these different concepts together to grow our perspective and image of what life is, what reality is. I haven't met anyone yet who would say knowledge is wasted time. It's discipline, it's work, but it's not wasted time. And I think it kind of hurts me a little when I run across someone or kind of like, think they have nothing to offer. Their perspective really doesn't matter, or someone else has the greater perspective or a greater image, or we'll say database of information to based off. What does my opinion matter? What does any of it matter? And I'm like, you've seen things that I haven't seen. We could have a conversation and we could connect things in so many different ways, and you'll learn from me, I'll learn from you. And I think that's kind of like the whole mindset and purpose of being together, at least in part. It's an interesting reality when you start studying, some people that are doing some great things in the world. You start seeing how so many of us are already connected without even knowing we're connected, or how so many of us say something that someone else already said, but for us it's the first time to discover it. I made a video, I think about a year ago, kind of touching on that, in the aspect, nothing new is ever really new. It's new to you, but is it new to reality itself? It's pretty unlikely. There's so many brilliant geniuses out there, just to brilliant individuals, that if I discover something for the first time and I'm telling you and it's new to you, well, to us it's new, but there could have been someone out there who knew this 20 years ago. So it's kind of like, in my mind, it's almost a pointless mindset or concept to, oh, you should credit that person, that person, that person. I'm like, let's just credit humanity. With us all together, we can do great things. If we're going to have the egotistical mindset and it's like, I did this, no, that's just a foolish statement. Kind of off topic, I suppose. The beauty of knowledge, though, again, is the ability to connect and continuously connect. And it's going to take a very open-minded person to do this. And I think the questions you're going to have to ask yourself is, how does this connect? Or how does this connect? Why does it connect? And am I just thinking maybe too far out there? And the likelihood is you're not. What are metaphors all about? They're all about connecting things that aren't really related, but then you make it relatable. Same thing with knowledge of any form. Everything's potentially connected. And I say potentially, but I should say for fact it is. The question or the answer to solve is how and why. But everything has a connecting piece to the another piece to the another piece. And as we get older, all the knowledge we have gathered thus far just gets deeper and deeper. And this onion concept never ends. It can't end. Knowledge is just that deep. The human potential is just that large. And I don't know, I find it incredibly fascinating, because it pains me when you run across someone who is closed-minded, if you will, and they won't admit there's potentially another angle, perspective to think about. It's just all or nothing, and it's like, ugh, frustrating. I encourage us all to kind of like, maybe today or sometime soon, just have this kind of thought process for a while. What have I thought I've learned that I've just rediscovered in a new way that's just, wow, mind-blowing? I think that's kind of like the little bits of life that add beauty to life, to living itself. Knowing each day in some aspects could seem the same, but that layering concept makes it a little different, to the point every day you can learn something new. And if you're not, I mean, that's just wasting our minds and time to live life. I don't know, what are your thoughts on that? I guess would be the next question.